She told everyone she was done with me. Not quietly either, she broadcasted it loud and clear. Her social media was flooded with posts captioned things like, "Free at last," glitzy photos with wine glasses and forced smiles, and those cheesy quotes about loving yourself and ditching deadbeat guys. I didn't hit the like button or leave a comment. Heck, I didn't even bother scrolling through her feed. The day she stormed out, calling me unambitious, passionless, and checked out, I hit mute on her profile. It was like she had a scorecard, and I flunked every category. Her name's Emily. There was a time I was dead set on putting a ring on her finger. I'd stashed away cash for it, even had a heart-to-heart with her old man. But things shifted when she landed a big promotion at her marketing gig. She started hitting up those fancy rooftop mixers, rolling in later, tipsier, and frostier. One night, I asked if something was off. Her response: "You're just stuck in place, and I need a guy who lights a fire in me." A week after that, she packed her bags and posted a smug selfie with the caption, "Ready to start a new chapter." I didn't run after her. Didn't even pick up the phone. I let her walk away. She spun her tale, painting me as the dead weight and herself as the rising star. But here's the kicker, I didn't need to rewrite my story. I just kept on living it. Somewhere down the road, life slipped me the chance to flip the script. 8 months later, I'm parked at a downtown coffee shop, messing around on my phone, when a message pops up from Alex. Now, Alex and I go back to college days. We weren't tight, but we'd toss a ball around in rec league and hit up the same house parties. Turns out, Alex was Emily's ex, the golden boy she always held over my head. You're cool, but Alex took me to art galleries and waxed poetic about life. Alex could find a trail without a map. Alex never spaced on my friend's birthday. It was always Alex this, Alex that. The one time I called her out on it, she just grinned and said, "Didn't you say you wanted to be better?" So, when his name flashed on my screen, I froze for a sec. Then I tapped the message. "Yo, long shot, you still with Emily?" it read. I stared, then shot back, "Nah," she bailed. Said I didn't measure up. His reply came quick, "Same deal with me back in the day." Funny how that works. By the way, I'm tying the knot next month. I let out a chuckle right there in the coffee shop. To who? I asked. He sent a photo. Her name was Ashley. My jaw dropped. Ashley used to be Emily's roommate, well, for a hot minute. They had a nasty falling out after Emily supposedly made a mean crack about Ashley's weight at some party. Ashley was out the door that week, and now she's the one getting hitched. I shot Alex a congrats and wished him the best, not dwelling on it. But a week before the big day, he hits me up again. "You gonna be around next weekend? Wanna drop by the wedding?" "Hold up, you're inviting me?" "Yeah, we've got some shared history. Ashley's cool with it, actually, she'd love to have you there." That's when a plan started cooking in my head. I asked Alex, "You guys streaming the wedding?" He said, "Yup, Ashley's got family all over, so we're broadcasting it on my profile." I grinned and said, "Sweet. Keep the privacy settings wide open. Here's the deal, I know Emily. I know how her ego ticks. She blocked me on every platform, but she never cut Alex off. She wanted to think she'd left us both in the dust. Word from mutual friends was she still creeped on his posts, incognito mode, sneaky likes, that kind of thing. She was obsessed with winning the breakup, with being the one everyone looked up to. But picture this, her catching me at that wedding, kicking back with the guy she used to throw in my face, standing tall for the woman she once tore down, all on his big day. What would that do to her precious little narrative? I mapped it out like a play-by-play. Got myself a sharp haircut and rented a slick charcoal suit that fit like it was made for me. Ashley even roped me into ushering guests, so I'd be front and center when the cameras kicked on. To seal the deal and make sure Emily tuned in, I pulled one last trick. On the morning of the wedding, I set up a throwaway email with a boring name, shot the live stream link straight to Alex's Instagram DMs, and labeled it, "Figured you'd want to check this out." I didn't hover to see if she opened it, didn't need to. Knowing Emily like I do, she'd bite. Maybe not right away, maybe after a glass of Pinot, maybe in her pajamas, but she'd click, and when she did, the stage was set. The wedding went down at this gorgeous vineyard, the sun sinking just enough to bathe everything in that warm, golden light you only see in movies. I was posted up near the altar with Alex when the music started swelling. The live stream was already rolling, capturing every moment. Guests were murmuring, cameras were snapping, and then Ashley stepped out, looking radiant, owning the moment with this quiet confidence. Alex's eyes got all misty, and I snuck one quick glance at the camera, just enough to know she was out there watching. At first, the ceremony had this soft, reverent vibe. Gentle music floated through the air, guests shuffled to face the aisle, and there was that electric hush you feel right before a moment turns into something you'll never forget. Ashley glided down the aisle like she didn't need anyone's approval, her heart wide open. Her dress fit her perfectly, but it wasn't flashy, she didn't need to be. She had this aura that pulled everyone in, like the universe was making up for the times Emily tried to dim her light. Alex was a goner, grinning ear to ear, wiping at tears he didn't bother hiding. I stood there next to him, and for a split second, I felt this swell of pride, not for anything I'd done, but for how far he'd come, how much he'd grown. And I knew Emily was watching. Maybe curled up in her apartment, phone glowing, a glass of wine nearby, probably thinking she'd see some low-key, forgettable wedding. But this? This was the real deal, breathtaking and undeniable, and I hadn't even played my card yet. The live stream camera was propped on a tripod across from us, angled to catch the couple and the crowd in one clean shot. A virtual crowd was already piling in online. The comments section was live, and names started flashing, far-off relatives, work buddies, old pals. Ashley's killing it. Alex looks so grown up. Yo, remember high school? This place is unreal. Then I spotted it, a username that rang a bell. Emily's sneaky side account. I'd seen it years back when she used it to snoop without leaving a trail. No profile pic, just some flower emoji, but that handle burned into my memory. I eased back a bit, angling my head so the camera got a good look at my face, and flashed a smile, not a smug one, just a steady, "I'm good," kind of grin, because I was. Ashley and Alex started their vows, her voice ringing out strong and sure. "You showed me love can burn bright without breaking you, that feeling safe doesn't mean settling, that who I am is already more than enough." I flicked my eyes to the screen. Comments kept pouring in, the viewer count climbing. That shadowy profile stayed silent, naturally, but it was still there, still glued to the moment. Alex gently clasped Ashley's hands. For years, I chased approval from folks who didn't matter, thinking I needed to be bolder, quicker, more magnetic. Then you came along, and everything just settled. In that calm, I finally figured out who I am. You never asked me to prove myself, you just stayed by my side. I noticed a flicker in the comments section. Someone typed, "Hang on, isn't that Emily's old boyfriend next to Alex?" A moment later, another chimed in, "Whoa, that's the guy Emily dumped. Didn't she blast him online for not being good enough?" The chat buzzed with a new vibe. Nobody named her outright, but those in the know didn't need to. They recalled her snarky Instagram captions, the petty quotes, the barely disguised jabs. I didn't have to fire back, the crowd was handling it for me. I straightened up a bit, not to gloat, but because I finally felt unburdened. All those years of self-doubt, constantly measuring myself against a bar set by someone who never truly had my back, were gone. Here I was, still me, still standing, right beside the guy she used to idolize and behind the woman she tried to knock down. Alex leaned in and kissed Ashley, and the crowd burst into cheers. The camera zoomed in a touch, framing them against a gorgeous pink sunset. I gave Alex a quick hug, then turned to Ashley and murmured, "You were absolutely perfect out there." She flashed a warm smile and said, "You held it down too." As the guests started drifting toward the reception area, I glanced at my phone. That flower icon profile had disappeared from the viewer list. Emily had bailed on the stream. Maybe the vows hit too close to home. Maybe seeing Alex tear up for someone she thought she'd outshined was too much. Or maybe the comments got under her skin. Honestly, I didn't care. This wasn't about twisting the knife, not really. It was about letting her see who I'd become once I stopped chasing her approval. The reception kicked into high gear. The lights dimmed, fairy lights twinkled above the dance floor, and Ashley blew Alex away by singing a song she'd written just for him. The whole room swayed, some folks wiping away tears. I stood off to the side, nursing a whiskey, taking it all in with a calm I hadn't felt in forever. A woman, Alex's cousin, maybe, tapped my shoulder. "You're the one who dated Emily, right?" she asked. I nodded, keeping it cool. She grinned wide. "Gotta say, props to you. She acted like she came out on top when she left, but looking at you now, you're the one who walked away with your head high." I let out a soft laugh. "Appreciate that. I didn't win some big prize, I just quit playing a game that wasn't mine." Later, I noticed a message request on my phone. No profile pic, no name, just, "sharp suit." I didn't need a detective to know who sent it. I left it unanswered. The morning after the wedding, I braced for a smug, victorious feeling to hit me. Instead, I woke up feeling, at peace. No headache, no second thoughts, just this quiet, grounded calm, like a piece of me had finally slid back into place. I rolled over, checked my phone, and there it was again, that anonymous profile, now dropping another message. One word, "Wow." No punctuation, no follow-up, no profile picture. But I didn't bite. I didn't need to. Somewhere out there, Emily was spiraling, not because I'd been cruel, but because I hadn't done a darn thing. I just let her peek at the life she swore I'd never build, and I let her watch it all from the outside looking in. The real chaos didn't hit until later that night. My phone pinged with a text from Lisa, Emily's old college roommate and one of her tightest confidants. We hadn't swapped words in almost a year. Lisa and I were never buddies, but she always seemed to keep her cool, even when Emily was losing hers. The message was short, "You need to check this out." She attached a screen recording. I paused, thumb hovering, then tapped play. It was a story from Emily's private Instagram, locked down for her inner circle. A fuzzy shot of a wine glass in dim light, with text overlay, "Some folks think pain's some grand love story. Congrats." No tags, no names dropped. But the next clip, one she probably didn't mean to include, caught her voice mid-meltdown. "It's just sad, you know. He's acting all happy, but I know him. I can tell when he's putting on a show. And Ashley? Please. She used to bawl about being overlooked. Now she's, what, someone's wife. It's all fake. The suit, the grins, the speeches, it's all for me. He's still hung up on me." Then a pause. Another voice, quieter, awkward, "Emily, it's done. You gotta stop living in his world like it's still yours." The video cut off. I sat there, staring at my phone, not mad, just floored. After all her big talk, about being over me, about how I was small time, a chapter she'd closed, this was the real her. Not the polished captions, the sun-drenched filters, or the "finding myself" posts. This, raw, bitter, her grip on control slipping. Lisa sent a voice message next. I wasn't trying to snoop. "It's just, she's not okay. Seeing you there with Alex, looking so at ease in that moment, it threw her. She thought you'd fade away, that she'd erased the past so perfectly no one would see her for who she is. But people remember. And now she's unraveling. She was up half the night sobbing over old pictures of you. She still hasn't deleted them. I didn't know how to respond. Hearing she was in pain didn't make me happy. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel like some kind of cosmic fairness. Her perfect story, where she was always the hero, always climbing, always untouchable, had cracked, and folks got a peek at the mess underneath her act. Still, I didn't reach out. Didn't block her, didn't answer, didn't even glance at the follow-up message she sent later that night. I left it sitting there, unopened, like a package for someone who doesn't live at my address anymore. But the universe wasn't done dishing out lessons. 3 days after the wedding, Alex gave me a call. "Man," he said, half laughing, half irritated, "guess who crashed Ashley's gallery opening?" I blinked hard. "No way." "Yup." Strolled in like she owned the place. Ashley didn't even clock her at first, not until she spotted her lingering by the wine table, pretending to study the artwork. Didn't chat with anyone. Just stood there, staring at one painting for, like, 10 minutes. When Ashley finally went over and asked if she needed anything, Emily said, "I just wanted to see what kind of person you had to turn into to make him move on from me." My jaw clenched. "What happened next?" I asked. Alex let out a chuckle. Ashley just said, "Didn't take much, just someone who doesn't treat love like a scoreboard." Then she walked off. Pure class. I leaned back, dragging a hand across my face. Alex added, "She's still caught in her own head, man. Still trying to make herself the star of everyone's story, but we've all turned the page. She's the only one stuck." He nailed it. That weekend, Ashley shared a snapshot from her gallery opening, captioning it, "Art mends, love grows, and some shadows belong outside the frame." The comments blew up with love and encouragement. A couple folks even tagged me, but I didn't share it or hit like. I didn't need to steal the spotlight here, because for the first time, it wasn't about me. I wasn't her fixer-upper, her stepping stone, or her shiny prize to toss aside. I was just a guy who got dumped and then pieced himself back together, quietly, fully. But life had one more curveball to throw my way. A week after the wedding, I bumped into Claire, Emily's old work buddy, at a downtown bookstore. She spotted me, flashed a grin, and leaned in close. "You know, she was always scared you'd end up happier without her. That's why she kept poking around, little comments, creeping on who you were hanging with. That live stream. It broke her. But not because of you. Because of Ashley." I arched a brow. "Ashley? How so?" Claire gave a knowing nod. Ashley didn't have to change herself to be loved. She didn't chase validation. She just was. And that shook Emily to her core. That hit me deeper than I'd expected. I never thought she'd show up at my place, not after the live stream, the gallery stunt, the cryptic messages, or those try-hard posts that aimed for, empowered, but always had a tremor of desperation. Then again, Emily could never resist a story she didn't own. So when she appeared outside my building on a hushed Thursday evening, just as the sky turned a bruised purple, it told me everything I needed to know. She didn't knock right away, just lingered outside the glass entrance. I caught her silhouette from my window upstairs, arms crossed tight, body hunched like she was holding herself together. I watched for a beat. No phone in her hand, no pacing, just standing there, frozen, like one step might shatter her. Then the intercom buzzed. I didn't pick up. She waited, buzzed again, then a third time, and finally texted, "I don't want drama. Just 5 minutes, please." I should have let it go. I knew better, but closure's a tricky beast. Sometimes it's the final hammer on a sealed lid, sometimes it's someone clawing to get free. I headed downstairs and cracked the door open. She looked up, and I saw the exhaustion in her eyes. She was always so put together, flawless hair, practiced poses, the vibe of someone who lived for the gram. But tonight, she looked like sleep hadn't touched her in days. Her voice came out softer than I remembered. Can we talk? I didn't let her inside. I stepped out, pulling the door shut behind me. She stood there for a long moment, maybe hoping I'd say something to cut the tension. I didn't. So she spoke up. I watched the wedding. I gave a small nod. Yeah, I figured. She let out a faint, bitter laugh. You seemed happy. I am. She blinked fast, like my words landed harder than she was ready for. I'm not here to mess anything up. I needed to say something, and I wanted to say it in person. I stayed quiet, waiting. She chewed her lip. I screwed up with you. Back then, I thought I needed something bigger, flashier. You were solid, steady, and I took that for granted, called it boring. I thought love had to be this big, loud thing to count. Now I see those loud moments just fizzle out. I stood there, watching her struggle to keep it together. You treated me right, she went on. You were always there, and I just walked out like it didn't matter. I don't know why it's hitting me now, but, because you lost the reins, I cut in, voice low. Her eyes widened, caught off guard. You're not here because you want me back, I said. You're here because your story got away from you. You crafted this whole tale where I was the screw-up and you were the one who found her spark. But then you saw me at that wedding, and it shattered your script because I didn't need to crash and burn to come out stronger. I just kept going, no theatrics required. Her mouth opened, like she wanted to push back, but the words didn't come. You wanted to be the center of everything, I went on, and I was supposed to revolve around you. But I found someone who doesn't need a spotlight, just a partner. Ashley doesn't make me jump through hoops. She doesn't hold me up to old flames. She doesn't turn love into a weapon. Emily's gaze dropped to the ground, her voice breaking. I never meant to cause you pain. I believe you, I said, but you did. And I let it go a long time ago. I just didn't feel the need to tell you. She looked down, then back up at me. Are you with her now? Nah, I said, Ashley's with Alex. You used to bring him up all the time, remember? Her expression tightened, the memory stinging. I let the quiet linger. But I am seeing someone, I added. Someone who never made me feel like I had to earn her affection. She gave a small nod and took a step back. I just needed to know if you ever truly loved me. That's when it clicked, why she was really here. Not for apologies or a do-over, but for a version of our history that let her feel okay about leaving, that let her believe she hadn't tossed away something genuine. I met her eyes and gave her the truest thing I had. I loved you with everything I had, but I spent more time trying to prove I was enough than I did feeling happy. That's not love, it's just getting by. And I'm done with just getting by. She didn't break down. Emily never let the tears fall when it counted, but her chin quivered. Her grip tightened on her purse strap. Then she nodded once, like she finally got that whatever we had was long gone, and tonight, she'd come to witness its funeral. She turned and walked off without another word. I stood there, watching her fade into the dark, the streetlights glinting off her coat as she crossed the street. I didn't feel unburdened or triumphant. I just felt, done. That night, I posted a picture, not some posed selfie, just a simple shot of my desk, an open notebook, a coffee mug, and a caption that read, "Some stories don't need a rewrite. They just need an ending." I shut off my phone and slept soundly, not bothering to check for likes, comments, or new messages. Whatever Emily saw or didn't see wasn't my problem anymore. And for the first time in years, that didn't feel heavy, it felt like freedom. If someone's ever walked out on you and tried to spin a version of you that fits their pride, let them. Let them talk, let them post, let them weave their tale. Because one day, they'll have to face the moment they never thought they'd be cut from. And when that time comes, don't rub it in. Don't pick a fight. Just live your life, fully, quietly, honestly. Thanks for hearing me out. If this story struck a chord, drop a comment below or subscribe for more. I read every one. And who knows, maybe your story's the next one we'll share.